Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a top 10 animes that I've enjoyed over the past 2023 year and ones that stick with me. Number 10 on the list is Naruto Shippuden. And I know we all heard Naruto Shippuden. You know, Naruto is one of the anime that's considered one of the big three and considered its wildly popularity during like the Toonami era for good reason because it's full of action-packed fight sequences, hilarious funny moments, dramatic scenes that will obviously make you cry and pull at the heartstring that have you on a emotional roller coaster ride. And I feel like in Naruto Shippuden in particular, from watching them grow as kids to like young adults, the story takes on more of a darker tone. And even with that, all the characters are now, much older, and they're facing more daunting challenges from the shadows as well as with the battles within themselves. But I feel like for the Naruto series in particular, it's very memorable because I feel like for Naruto Shippuden, it was one of those shows that was drastically on Toonami, and like it just was one of those shonen animes that made a very lasting impression on me, which I thoroughly love a lot. And then we have on the next anime, number 9, we have Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, I feel like was the start of Toonami. Was like that big gateway for many young anime fans, particularly myself. And I feel like for the show in particular, it didn't have a very overcomplicated plot. You know, the basic story rolled around a superhuman martial art, guy named Goku and his friends testing their morale against insanely powerful and outlandish opponents throughout the series. But I feel like for this one, it doesn't even take it too seriously. Just having a bunch of cool like superhero people facing off superhero people with their bare hands and basically shattering planets. And I feel like the next one on the list, number 8, would be Fooly Cooly. For me, Fooly Cooly was very interesting because I watched this again on Toonami. Love the Toonami area. But it's pronounced Fooly Cooly. It's short, but every normal anime standards. But I feel like for this one, it was really like sci-fi comedy. And I feel like for Fooly Cooly in particular, it was very bizarre and hilarious as it could get. And I feel like it being based on an original series, the plot was very simple. You have this ordinary boy and his new friend. They meet this quirky alien woman. And you just see how very fast the anime just takes you for a whirlwind. Like those 3-episode rules, like this is not the pinnacle of that because, I feel like this series, every time you watch it, just gets wackier and wackier as you get. And it has an amazing soundtrack. And I just love it for that in general. And then we had the lovely number 7 is the Orange Horse Club. Now I feel like for this series, we had like the Fruit Basket series, the Vampire Night series, but also we had Orange Host Club series. And this was during I watched this series like in middle school. And I feel like in one way to explain Orange High School Host Club, if you're a fan of manga, anime, you'll love the story that takes the convenience of the medium and turns it on its head. Every now and then you'll see an anime has a great love story and immediately grabs you by your collar. And I feel like for the Soju subgenre, when Haru stumbles upon her school's popular host club where male students entertain female ones to make money, she accidentally breaks a vase and finally finds herself mistaken for a boy and forced to become a host. And her awkward nature and then tied with her sadness mean that she's an uncomfortable setup. But she soon finds her place in the host club as she soon realizes that she can find herself becoming more courageous with a whole new group of friends at Orange High Host Club. And the silly satire that falls along with it, along with the otaku culture and just a lot of Fujichi comedy that comes with it. Number 6 is Death Note. Surprisingly, I watched Death Note when I was in high school. And I feel like Death Note is one of those classic anime that follow the teenager, Light Yagami, who gains supernatural ability through this notebook that is titled Death Note. In this book, grants the user the ability to kill anyone they want just by writing their name in it. I feel like this is one of like those supernatural, kind of a little bit supernatural, like investigator, like animes that was really thrilling, especially like those murder mystery kind where you kind of watching this character go on this moral compass between good and evil and like this whole predicament of like this ensuing if he's gonna commit mass genocide or he's gonna completely go off the rocker, and watching these people trying to figure out who this criminal is by killing the bad guys in the show. But I think this show goes way beyond the expectation of having a lot of dark protagonists and then a lot of many live action spin-off as well. But I feel like for this anime, it's one of the best and most influential anime of its time. And then you have lovely Attack on Titan. Now again, I watched Attack on Titan in my art class freshman year of high school, and my friend introduced me to this anime. I was really intrigued and shocked with it. And I feel like for this one particular, Attack on Titan is the one day that humanity is feared by these titans. And I feel like it was released in like 2013, and you have followed these like 3 friends, Eren, Misaka, and Armin. and they found like humanity's greatest soldier against these ginormous titans and the threat that lies beyond their city walls. And what was, I felt like, a very amazing anime. It had very dark themes to it. Besides the artwork, talks about themes of war, classism, racism, and other heavy topics that was really hard to find in a show during that era. But with the direction that it went to and the source material of inspiration and the mix of high intensity action and slow character build up scenes and like I feel like Game of Thrones deaths that came out of nowhere is one of the great animes that emerged in like the modern day era. The next anime on my list is Code Geass. And I feel like Code Geass, it came out in like 2006, and the story like takes place between a very alternate timeline, very reminiscent of like the world power between different empires, the Holy Britain Empire, the Chinese Federation, and the European Union. And before that, we followed the Britain Empire that conquered Japan, stripping the country of its name and freedom with the use of Inoura's mech. Now, if you're not like who use like a mecha like anime fan, that's totally fine. But besides the mecha aspect of this anime, it's highly heavily in the mix of political mecha thrillers with this anime, with some thrilling action scenes that carry on the excitement to push it forward. And I feel like our protagonist here, Lelouch, is an exiled Britain prince now living in Japan who swears to bring down his father's empire. And just having that enticing like nature of this anime is like really seeing how you can throw along a different type of protagonist while trying to bring down the one thing he thought he cherished most in the world, which is, well, you just have to watch the anime because I don't want to give too much away. The next anime on this list is My Hero Academia. And I know what you're gonna say. I know. You're like, Yasmin, why My Hero Academia? That toxic fandom is, the fandom is toxic. I get it. But mind you, I watched My Hero Academia junior-ish year in university. And I feel like we always see a ton of superhero movies and they're dime a dozen. But My Hero Academia offers, I think, a different twist on this familiar genre itself. We focus on Izuku Midoriya, a hero who's born without powers, but is determined to save people regardless. In a world filled with people who have abilities, he earns his way of his quirk of always dreaming of becoming a superhero. And in Midoriya's traditional human hero journey, there's often different twists and turns that are thrown my way, different well-worn trope, but exploring what it truly means to be a hero. Not concept in general. We're also with the consistent humor and heartfelt moments that we mentioned, but also this has really good action sequences, stunning animation, lovable characters that are well developed, a really good, well supporting cast, and that's what I just love about it. Like you tend to root for the little guy, and in this instance where you're truly rooting for the little guy in the series because of how well it is. And now we're saving the best and last anime for last, and that is the record-breaking Demon Slayer. As someone who's gotten into like anime over the years and like has reviewed it for going on for quite some time now, I feel like for Demon Slayer it has grown exponentially in the last few years, and not surprising too because the series and where it is now particularly, I think every episode of Demon Slayer is consistently impressive with smooth animation that never compromises, to its gorgeous art style, to the visual effects, to the breath of life that it brings to each particular battle, and the amazing soundtrack and all the emotional points that it does hit you when you watch this. But then you also have, thanks to Demon Slayer, these outlandish but relatable characters, from the overtop characters like Zenitsu to Inosuke, that makes you tear up over the heavy themes of loss and family. And I feel like overall with Demon Slayer, it just keeps getting better and better with each season, so I can't wait to see what the next season of Demon Slayer will truly look like. But definitely check out these top 10 animes that I thoroughly enjoyed throughout the years, and let me know what your favorites are. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2, because I'll definitely do a part 2. I thought I would do 10 right now because I feel like 20 would be very overwhelming in that sense. But let me know if you want a part 2. I'll happily do 10 more of my animes that I've enjoyed over the past year, 2023. And comment down below what anime I want to review next, and I'll see you soon for another anime review. Until then, bye!